Chapter 10, The Courage to Do It All. I probably should have given this disclaimer in the beginning of the book instead of the end, but whatever. Every step, every move, and every opportunity I've capitalized on has required immense courage on my part. I mean, scary shit sometimes. However, that is not the disclaimer. The disclaimer is this. I grew up a very shy, very timid person, and I've been afraid every step of the way. Most people who knew me growing up couldn't believe I was doing music when I first started because they practically never heard me speak or express myself. I'll sometimes catch myself and think, how did I become this person? At what point did I make the change from quiet and shy to dominating and world-shaking? I had to overcome a lot of mental blocks and real-world challenges to get here. When I was young, my family didn't have any money. I also didn't have any older brothers to show me what a young, Black, Puerto Rican, Haitian kid was supposed to be like. So, I experienced a lot of hard lessons growing up that only I could teach myself. Boys picked on me because I wasn't up on the latest trends, and girls picked on me because when they're young, they can be just as cruel, if not more, than the boys. They picked on my haircut, clothes, and most importantly, how naive I was. This put a lot of fear and self-doubt in me at an early age. Things really didn't change for me socially until I started working at Planet Fitness. Before then, I was extremely socially awkward. But once I got hired at that gym, my life changed dramatically. I was hired as a front desk representative. My job duties included cleaning machines and checking people into the gym. But my main responsibility was to sell memberships. I had never been obligated to speak to so many people before. My previous job, Steak and Shake and Hollister, never required me to talk this much. Every single person that walked into that gym, I had to either engage in a conversation or sell them a membership. At first, this was extremely nerve-wracking. But after I learned what each membership entailed, I was selling like a pro. I would give a tour, then be very nonchalant about whether you joined or not. I learned that the employees that seemed desperate for you to join rarely sold any. So I gave the impression that I didn't care, and folks bought from me every day. I heard somewhere once that no matter what career path you choose, the most important skill you can learn is how to sell. Being a good salesman will help you in every area of your life. I think the most important thing I learned selling hundreds of memberships for Planet Fitness is this. Everyone is afraid. When I learned this simple concept, everything in my life changed. I used to think that some people were just naturally better, cooler, or more interesting than others. But after interacting with thousands of people at this gym, I began to see those latent insecurities that lie inside of people whom you would never expect to feel that way. From the most thugged out goon to the pretty prissy girl to the white cocky businessman, everyone is afraid. No one 100% likes themselves, and no one truly knows it all. Figuring this out gave me a confidence that I still hold to this day. Once you realize that everyone is scared, you'll see that there's nothing for you to be afraid of. Whether you're pursuing your lifelong dream or just walking down the street, always keep this in mind. Everyone is afraid. Nobody is perfect, and no one has all the answers. The world is what we make it, flaws and all. Your flaws are actually what make you cool. Learning how to sell to people and interacting with them when I really didn't want to gave me almost all of my people skills. Now, regular people skills and socializing are one thing. Knowing how and when to talk to people is important. But then you have those special few people that can not only speak to you, but can make you feel heard, special, and actually motivate and move you into action in the pursuit of a cause or belief. To become a mover of men and an alpha in the room was my next lesson. Once I had learned how to speak to people, my next desire was to learn how to bring something out of them, a feeling. I wanted to exist as more than just a regular person. I wanted to be great. And That next lesson came to me when I finally learned how to do what you're doing now. It came to me when I learned how to read. I mean, really read and absorb what I was reading with intention. Do you remember the earlier chapters of this book when I mentioned 12 Traits of the Greats? Well, that was the first book that I had ever dedicated myself to reading cover to cover. My original plan was to snatch up the parts that I needed and skim through and ignore the rest. But by the time I put that book down, I was changed. I left that experience with a new way of looking at the world. My mind felt sharp, and the way I spoke to people from then on was clear and well organized. I was now able to piece together beautiful sentences with a flair and capacity that I never had before. Soon, I noticed that instead of just hearing me, people would hang on to my every word. Men and women alike would agree with the points I would make, laugh at my jokes, and be willing to participate in just about any idea I would suggest to them, even if it didn't make the most sense. I became more than I could have imagined. That simple act of forcing myself to read unlocked my mind, and my mind unlocked everything else. Being able to not only speak to people, but inspire them with your words is an incredible gift. And it's a gift we can all have if we choose to activate it. These simple principles of socializing, reading, and the knowledge that everyone is afraid has enabled me to do every scary thing in my life. Someone once said, every opportunity that comes into your life comes in the form of a relationship. If that's true, investing in your people skills will be the best decision you will ever make. Another person once said, everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. Be fearless, and remember that everyone is afraid too. And once you do what everyone else is afraid to do, you will rise above the masses, set yourself apart, and get where you are going. You have all the power you will ever need inside of you now. Be strong, be brave, be patient, and do what you're afraid to do. Then, not only will I see you at the top, but I'll be eager to hear your top 10 manifestations. My 10th and final, but actually my first, manifestation was the courage to do it all. My name is King Hoodie, and this has been Materialized, my top 10 manifestations.